We started back at my house last night. We started back at my house last
Yeah, I lost about 6 pounds. Are we live on audio yet? We'll turn on the music or close the music. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
I feel like some of you should sit over that way because everyone's over there and I'm looking that way.
There's more like 15 people.
There's a bunch of people. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started because we're broadcasting live. Hello, internet audience. How are you? I feel like I've been on like the internet roadshow. Like yesterday I was in Phoenix broadcasting on the Ustream from the home office. And before I get too far along here, I want to introduce you guys to a good friend of mine. This is Brian Staben. Brian came out. We didn't even say anything. You're getting applause. Brian's
my meetings, nobody even cares so much. I love it out here. I'm going to come to your guys.
So Brian's from Camarillo, California. He's an elite team member with Vima. Has an office much bigger, cooler than this one down in Camarillo. And let's see what else I'm going to say about Brian. He's just all around awesome guy. He's here because his girl was at Britney Spears tonight. He didn't want to go. You didn't want to see Britney?
Did I opted for the Vima meeting?
Opted for a Vima. This is way better than Britney. You get to be Britney here.
True story.
You're in the show online. All right, good. Well, and for those of you that are new here for the first time, welcome. We're just going to, for the next half hour or so, have some fun, talk about what it is that the person who invited you here wanted you to see. And the format, since Brian's here, we're going to kind of go back and forth. So, and for those of you that are already involved with the business, in case you haven't seen it, this presentation is really cool. This is what I laid down last night in the home office. Have you been using this yet?
I have not. I haven't even seen it yet.
You haven't seen it?
No.
All right, good. Well, that's okay. That's Brian's style. It's like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but I just sign people up and make lots of money, right?
That's the goal.
Yeah, it's duplication, I guess.
Exactly.
But I actually had to look at this because I had to do it in front of the whole company yesterday. But anyway, if you go to vimaflipbook.com, you can see this presentation. And EJ, can you go to the next slide? I actually have this thing down. But if you look at this slide, I thought this was pretty cool. And last time I was touching on this, it's like, think about it. And it's tough when you're a new person, and especially if you had a busy day and you got here, and especially if you're like most people were when they first come and take a look at it, you're kind of skeptical and whatnot. It's almost hard to listen. So just take a few deep breaths, relax, and there's some good information here. Nobody's going to tie you up and make you make a decision, but I hope by the end of it you'll feel compelled to, because the logic is just indisputable. But something that's really cool to think about is this. It's kind of an awkward angle for the camera, but if you're presented with the right opportunity, what area of your life would you want to improve? So you have your health, and the reality is that most people think about their health when?
It was too late.
Yeah, it was too late, And it's like, wow, how did I get, cancer, diabetes, heart disease? It didn't happen like overnight when you're 60. It happened because of dietary choices throughout your life. And those of you looking at me saying, what are you at? A dietary consultant? Like, no, I'm better at the opportunity part. But, what's kind of cool, though, is I drink this product, one of our products. I drink it every single day. And I actually haven't been sick in like 8 years. Nice. Thank you, Brian. Brian's like the soundtrack of our meetings. I'm here for him throughout. But look at this. So you got health, and health is like the most important thing. If you take it for granted until you lose it. But if you lose your health, you got nothing. So we're a health and wellness company. That's a $1 trillion industry. Then you got money. And maybe you don't got money, you want money. But money's another area that obviously, about 97% of people could use more money. And then, I know we've had this conversation because, Brian, you own tell me about yourself, because I'm not struggling. I talk so damn much. I want to let you talk. Tell me a little bit about because you're a guy that already does really well, but you want to be in this business because of the third thing, time. But tell me a little bit about your background and how busy that keeps you, what you do in your traditional business.
Yeah. So how I got involved in Vima, and like Matt says, I own a construction company out in Southern California. Do really well, very fortunate. Things have been good for me.
What do you do exactly? So you got a ton of tractors and crap. You build highways or something?
Well, no, I'm a what they call an engineering contractor. So I do dirt work. I got dozers and loaders and excavators, and And we do a lot of work for Southern California Edison. So I'm always building roads and big retaining walls and crazy stuff like that, you know. And I come from, that's my background, even from my family, you know, and that's kind of the driving force that got me into Vima. I think people, I think when I even initially think about this business, I think about who needs this business, right? And I'm thinking about all these people that I know that are out of jobs and things like that. And there's this whole other demographic that I think most people forget about, and that is who deserves this business,
Right.
You know, I've worked my ass off for the last, I'm 42. I've worked my ass off for the last 35 years of my life. I grew up with this dad that by the time, when I was 18 months, I was
child labor laws and all?
Dude, seriously, like my dad should be in jail right now. Like
7 years old.
I was running a D8 Caterpillar dozer by the time I was 6, you know?
Really?
But it's a true story. Literally, I could show you guys pictures of that. And I just came from this family that had this incredible work ethic. And I was fortunate enough to pull that part in. But, you know, they all did passive income like most of us do, right? And I've watched my dad's close to 70, and he's still just working his ass off. I'm telling you right now, you guys, my dad is dirty, welding somewhere in a shop, doing something like that. And I hit this wall a couple of years ago. I felt like I was on this treadmill of life. I could just never quite reach the goal that I wanted to do. And I started surrounding myself with guys like Matt and a couple other friends of mine that had what I wanted. And weirdly enough, a lot of these people were in Vima or doing this sort of business. And I was kind of the skeptical guy in the beginning, kind of like, oh yeah, one of those deals, right? I was just that guy. But the truth is, I had no knowledge of those deals. And so I was being completely ignorant 2.5 years ago, right? But one of my friends that I really respected brought this to me. And because I respected him from a business standpoint, I listened, you know, like if Matt was to tell me something today, I would listen because I respect him. So I listened to this guy, got in Vima, and I'm telling you guys, it's changed my life dramatically in the last 2 years. Not only am I doing it, but I have a girlfriend that does it, and a 22-year-old son of mine that does it, and absolutely kills this business. And probably the most rewarding thing I've experienced in the last 2 years is the change of my 22-year-old son. At 20 years old, had no direction. Good kid. Matt's known him since the beginning.
Hell of a motorcycle rider. Great
motorcycle rider, professional motorcycle rider, but just didn't know what he wanted to do. But ever since he was little, he had this gift of just befriending people and just was a very social butterfly. And he just took to this business and absolutely loves it. So that's kind of my background of why I got into Vima. I still have my construction company, but you know, it's so funny because people ask me now what I do. And 3 years ago, I would have been like, I own a construction company. And now I'm like so torn because I want my construction company to be my side job. I want Vima to be my real job, right? It's just the way it is. So that's a little bit about me and my story.
Well, it's great. He's good looking, man. All the spontaneous applause. I never get that. Never get any of that. All right. So, yeah, you know, like it's interesting. Some people think that a business opportunity is something that they should show their unemployed brother-in-law. You know, it's like, well, oh, you know, he can't never get out of his own way and, you know, show him. And it's like when I drove down to LA to meet with Brian for the first time, I was with, I remember I was with someone here in Vegas. I think I was that with you, Ross? Yeah. It was such a trip because we're driving through these back roads. We cut across from like Palmdale to Camarillo, and then Ross is like, "What's his last name again?" And I'm like, "Staben." And he's like, then he points, and there's like this huge water tower like with Staben. It's like these guys own like half of the freaking California, but it's always people who are already successful who do well. Right. You know, I was an exception. I was dead ass broke when I got in this. And then I'm like, wow, finally something I can do good at. And then I took to it like a duck to water. But I think we're getting just a tiny bit ahead of ourselves, you know, and I'm going to give up on following that screen. But go to another slide so we can see that. All right. Well, I like that slide too, though. So, like, let's pretend like you do, because we didn't really get to it. But the thing is a lot of really busy people, you know, and successful people are busy. And one of the things that I like about my life is I'm not busy. You know, it's like I like to wake up. I like to wake up when my eyes open. You know, and that's when I like to wake up, not when I have to wake up. You know, like this morning I was really stressed out because I had a 9 o'clock breakfast meeting. And so like I had to get up, I had an 8 o'clock wake up call at my hotel in Phoenix. You know, like that's getting up early for me. And so it's like, it would be nice to just be able to have the time to just do what you want. And a lot of people want free time, a lot of people want more money, and everybody wants good health. So those are the things that we're up to. And so the question is, you know, what's your game plan to get those things? You know, for some people, it's like, we'll just work more hours. And that doesn't really work, you know, because if you're making an hourly wage, I don't even care how much it is, there's only so many hours in a day that you can work. And then you got to maybe save money, which no one in America is really good at. You know, you can't make all that much money. Is there a flood going on? Oh, he's doing laundry? Nice. And so working more hours, that kind of sucks. Getting a franchise is another option. But I looked into some franchises now that I've started making money. I was thinking, hey, I'll diversify. Just a basic franchise like a Jamba Juice I looked at. You guys, like, I was thinking, okay, maybe a McDonald's be like $1 million, $2 million, but a Jamba Juice couldn't be that much. But $280,000 for a Jamba Juice. And the net on that, you know, is like 80 grand a year, you know, per location if you're lucky. And then the thing that's bad about it is if like some teenager calls in hungover, you know, you're making smoothies. That ain't my idea of a good time. You know, I mean, I make them at home, but I don't want to be like, well, yeah, okay, you want a peanut butter fudge? I've got crap flying everywhere, you know. And it's like 80 grand a year. No, I'm on 80 grand a month. Have a nice day. And then the other option is you partner with an established company, which is what we do. Go to the next slide. You're going to like this presentation, Brian. If you haven't seen it before.
I'm learning something.
So Vima is the company that we're partnered with. And basically the company does all the heavy lifting. You know, they do all the stuff that you probably have to do in your business, like you got payroll, I would imagine.
Payroll,
insurance. What else? I've never had a business.
Overhead, repair,
tractors are
diesel.
free.
No, they're not. It's weird. I thought they were.
It was cool. Like I was at his house and like, well, that army truck you bought was just ridiculous. But that was just for fun. But he bought like these army trucks that they drive in like Desert Storm with like 20-foot tall tires and drive over houses. And then they come home and they don't need them anymore or something. And then they sell them for like. And so Brian just bought one, right? And like, it's like the most ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever seen in my life.
I have issues. I haven't grown up since about 8 years old. Seriously, I just got more money.
Look at this army truck. I mean, it's the biggest truck I've ever seen in my life. And he's got 2 of them, not 1, 2 of them in his yard. But then, like, you also had like this big water truck, and I suppose that costs money to rent and all that.
Just the overhead of running a traditional business. And who cares about the overhead, the liability? The liability of what happens today in business is astronomical. I am literally 2 seconds away from losing everything at any given time. If one of my semis running down the road runs into a carload of people, guess who's liable for all that? Me.
The owner.
You know, and that's what I love about
call
this.
Lloyd if you have problems. So you partner with Vima, you don't have any. That's what's kind of cool. It's like my business that we're gonna talk about more in a second is like literally no overhead, no employees, no headaches, and great money. And that's what you guys have the opportunity to do. And it all is because of this product that we have here. Vima is a great nutritional wellness product. Okay, so you should drink it. It's good for you. You know, I mean, there's 5 clinical studies that have been done on the product. People get results on this stuff like no other. I mean, it's mind-blowing what happens when people get on this product. You know, everything from like they have pain or arthritis or whatever, people get results, you know, and it's just like, I guess it's fairly straightforward because what's in here as far as vitamins, minerals, antioxidants is like the equivalent of if you were to juice like 3 bags of organic produce. Imagine if you juiced 3 bags of organic produce every day, you'd probably be, you know, pretty good. But that's a big pain in the neck. You've got to buy it, you got to wash it, you got to juice it, you got to clean the juicer. You know, after that, do that 2-3 days in a row. I'm ready to sell the juicer at a garage sale. You know? I've had like 6 juicers, and then I use them twice, and then sell them at a garage sale.
Done.
But it's like, so Vima's real easy. 2 ounces, boom, take a shot. You got everything good. And that was really cool. But then they just got like way better like 5 years ago. Our founder said, hey, to the scientists, to our company says, what if you could just take this great wellness product and make it look like a cool energy drink? Because everybody's drinking energy drinks. You know, Rockstar, Red Bull, Monster, $12 billion industry. And, that's right, a $12 billion industry. And so anyway, so we made this can called Verve, and this stuff it tastes good and it's good for you. And then the essence is, since then we bought a manufacturing plant, And the manufacturing plant is unbelievable. It's a 250,000 square foot facility. We also contract manufacture for Rockstar. I went through a tour of the plant. We were making Rockstar Recovery. I think you were there.
I was. Yeah.
Also, Ross went in yesterday. We were on a road trip to Scottsdale, and he comes out with, I think he's just being a smartass. He came out with like a vitamin water energy drink. Because the can, have you guys seen the canned vitamin waters?
No,
they have canned vitamin waters now. I saw them at Walmart, and we make those for them too. So it's pretty cool. The company's big. It's solid.
didn't taste anywhere near as good as Verve.
I know.
I went on record saying.
Well, no, because what they do is they make all the other products crappy on purpose. But so we diversified. Now we have energy drinks. Like we have original, regular sugar, which is natural fructose. We have a sugar-free, that's sweet with stevia. Stevia, I guess it's just stevia, the sugar-free. And then we have the bold, which is my favorite. It has organic cane juice as well as stevia in it. And then we came out with iced tea, iced coffee. We have something without caffeine for people who don't like caffeine. So we have just all these great products. And essentially we're building a brand through word of mouth, people talking to people, talking to people. And I don't know, Brian, why don't you talk a little bit about that? Like, I know, like, for example, you just told a few people, you must have put how many people in your organization now altogether?
Myself?
Well, I mean, yeah, how many do you personally introduce, and then what has it grown to?
So I got in this business, and the truth is I didn't do anything right out of the gate. I didn't know enough about what was going on, and I kind of lagged. But probably in the first 6 months, I enrolled 15 people into my business, and probably over the course of the last 2.5 years, I've probably enrolled 30 people into my business personally. But I probably have about 2,000 people in my downline right now. In 8 different countries and all kinds of different states and all over the place, And the funny part is, and this is the truth, I have never, ever, ever, ever enrolled anybody outside of my city limits. Every single person I enrolled was in Camarillo, California. So my business traveled to all those different countries and all those different states with zero effort on my part. And so that's what opened my eyes to this business model of how I could build this literally international business from my living room. I could show you the living room that I went to presidential in Vima. That's where every single one of my home events was. We always laugh. We're like, this is where it all started.
Was that because you never left Camarillo because your dad's had you enslaved since you were 7?
He's still got a shock collar on me when I leave town, man. What are you talking about?
But that's cool. Yeah, you build locally and expands globally.
Exactly.
Like Xiaoqing, how did it with the name that time? Xiaoqing? She just got back from China, and we were just talking before the meeting. It's like, I can't wait till we open China. We're open in Taiwan, we're open in Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, but China is massive, and it looks like next year we're going to open up China. So she comes to an event here because she's a friend of Rose's, and next thing you know, she goes back to China, has friends there, and all of a sudden we have a business in China. It's not about. In fact, I'm just going to free form it here for a second. Hold on, I'm going to leave the frame. Don't be alarmed, viewing audience. I want to use this whiteboard thing. I'm going to go old school. I'm 51. Back in the old days, we didn't have PowerPoint presentations. We make this go there, Ross. Let's go. But I'm going to draw something that I think is cool. It can go. You can make it.
I got this, guys.
You got this?
I got this.
Hey, do we have markers?
Yeah,
Joe's in the back. All right, Brian, we're going old school right here. Yeah. Oh, look at that, how classy, they're in the bag. All right, so check this out. What's so you guys, basically what I want you to understand, and again, if you're brand new, I feel like this is a little disjointed. It could be because I just drove 6-7 hours from Scottsdale. But what I want you to get is these products are good and they're good for you and they taste good. Whoever invited you here likes them and wants you to drink them. I don't think that's that big of a decision. Just drink them, they're good. But the making money part is mind blowing. And if you look on the wall, I've earned now over $6 million from an event that I didn't want to come to when I first got invited. Literally, there were skid marks as he dragged me. And I was way too cool for this. I was way too cool, But here I was making 50 grand a year. In this business, I've made 50 grand in a week. Okay? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And it's like, results are not typical. Your results may vary, whatever. Like no one, if you're typical, you probably end up broke. Most people, everyone has some kind of a thing. And the biggest objection we get is, oh, I don't like those kind of things, right? Or that's a pyramid or whatever. That's the only objection, in my opinion, you need to overcome. Because there ain't nobody that's going to say, I don't want to drink good product. I don't want to make a lot of money. But they're going to say, well, isn't it one of those things? And I just want to show you something, because here's what's one of those things is. At times have really changed a lot because of the internet. Like last night, the crowd was probably, the average age was about 26, 27. And I said, how many of you guys have cable TV at home? Less than half the room. Wow. All right? Less than half the room even have TV anymore. Like an old school model is you watch TV commercials, then you go to the store and you buy the product. Nowadays, it's all social media, it's Netflix, it's Hulu Plus. So that model is old. And it's like, well, yeah, I want to go to college and get a job. 54% of people that get out of college can't even get a freaking job. So that's pretty stupid too. And then you get a job, you work at it 10 years, and then they export your job to India, or they give it to a young person, you get laid off, so there's no job stability. So the fact that people are always saying, wasn't it one of those things? Here's what I think is a scam and a pyramid. Here's your typical corporation. There's a CEO who's at the top. Underneath the CEO is the vice presidents, right? Is that the structure of every company? Like Caesars Entertainment, Harrah's, if any of the big employers here in town. And underneath the vice presidents are management, okay? And then underneath the management are all the employees. And all the employees make subsistence level wages, and they're getting hosed. And these guys are driving Rolls Royces. Do you see the pyramid? The way it's shaped like a pyramid. It's a total scam. I think it should be outlawed. All right. I'm not really joking even. I mean, it's a really dumb model. You get paid an hourly wage that's barely enough to live. Every 6 months you get some insulting cost of living increase, and then they increase the cost of living. But if you look at our model, like I just thought of this the other day, and I was saying, okay, look at a cell, and a cell has a nucleus. And then I realized I totally didn't pay attention in biology. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I just drew a circle in the middle. And it's like let's say that this is how our business works. Because people say things like, well, don't you have to get in at the beginning? Don't you have to be on the top? Things like that. And it's just so wrong. Like people's understanding of our business just frustrates me. And so I'm on a mission to educate. So like with Brian, if this is his business, you say you enroll like 15 or 30 people, and so all those people kind of go out from you. You are the center of your business universe. And it's like a social network, like a Facebook, like an Instagram. So that everyone that you enroll, they in turn do the same thing. And you get all these little clusters, and it just grows like the Ebola virus all around the world. Someone texted me the other day, they go, hey, if Vima cures Ebola, that would be awesome, right? And I mean, all I know is that Vima is clinically proven. What is that loud water noise that keeps happening, EJ?
I turned my washing machine on like 2 hours ago, so there's no way it's still going.
Okay. But what our product does is it does increase your immune function. So I would drink like 10 ounces a day so you don't get Ebola. I'm not saying it cures Ebola. But anyway, but if you look at it, it's like this. So it's like from the nucleus of Brian's business, he said there's a couple thousand people. Mine, I started there, there's over 60,000 people that have tried these products as a result of me just telling a few people. Whether it's Ross that I met playing poker, whether it's Gordon George that I met hanging out in the pool upstairs, whether it's my son who my wife gave birth to, that's the easiest way to sponsor people. Have kids, It's like have a lot of them, you're done, right? But should have had more. But so it's like it grows to 1,000, but you're the center of your business, and your business emanates from you. It has nothing to do with birthright or getting in at the beginning. I didn't get into the beginning of this company. There were 70,000 people in the company when I joined. Within 18 months, I was the number 3 earner in the company. Because it's real simple. Use the products, talk to people, and it grows like crazy. And I don't know, man, I just get excited when I start talking about this stuff. And I always feel like if someone doesn't do this, I explained it wrong. All right? So if anyone has any questions, I want to make sure you get them answered. Because there's nothing not to like about this type of business. One of the things that I think people do is they say, those things don't work. Has anyone ever heard that? Like, those things don't work? But here's what it is. It doesn't work for some schlep that has bad breath and likes to tell secrets. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some loser that you don't like, you know, says, oh, get in my deal. Like they just meet you and they try to recruit you and you're like, you're a freak. Like, no, I don't want to go to a meeting with you. I don't even know you and you're weird and you have dandruff and no. All right, but it's like, so whoever sponsored that weirdo, they're the problem. Don't sponsor that person. Sponsor people like the people that you're going to meet in this room. Sponsor people who have like water towers all over Southern California with their name on it. You know, sponsor people like a lawyer who's on TV like every 4 seconds in Las Vegas. You know, sponsor successful people, because if you're the type of person that people like, okay, then, because that's why you guys came, like any of you guests who came here today, you came here out of respect for the person who invited you here. You're like, oh, well, maybe it's one of those things, but I know you're not an idiot, so it must be something to it. That's right, okay, so the people who fail are people who they have no one that will listen to them, and then they usually quit after like a week. They treat this business like I treat the gym. I think signing the thing to get into the gym is what makes you look like the SoloFlex guy. But in reality, you have to go, okay? And most people just join and then quit. I mean, I'm sure you have some thoughts on this topic, Brian. I've been on a little bit of a rant right there.
No.
Can you, anything you'd like to add?
No, you know, it's so funny because here's my thought, and I see a lot of people come into my meetings, and when I got involved in this business, I had this mindset of what Matt's talking about. And that is, you know, if you're new, you're probably sitting in here and you're probably looking at Vima or the program and everything and wondering, is it going to work? Is it real? Is it this? Is it that? And the truth is that most of us just don't realize that it has nothing to do with Vima or the program or Matt or me or anything. It's already in you. And I love the gym analogy because, you know,
when you go, I joined. What's the difference?
You're absolutely right. I think that so many people think just because you sign the paper that you're going to get a six-pack. It doesn't come with that.
That's kind of the impression I got.
You got to show up. But all of a sudden, so if you don't go to the gym and if your goal today is to lose 50 pounds, but in 6 months you don't, did the gym fail or did you fail?
No, the gym is a scam.
The gym is a scam. And that's the typical thinking, right? Like it's a scam.
Well, that's because people don't ever take responsibility for their own failures.
Right.
So that person fails at network marketing, and then they say, "Oh, those things don't work." Yeah. It's like, no, you're a loser.
I can say this, and this may sound funny, but 100% of the people that I've watched get into my business that put the work in and did what they were supposed to do succeeded.
Yeah.
Not 10%, not 50%, 100% on some level has succeeded, and they're just continuing up this ladder. This takes time, guys. I think so many people come into this and think, oh man, they see all these great numbers and it's a get rich quick deal. It's not, man. This is an investment. This is something that you do, but I mean, I've been in this thing a short 2.5 years. That's nothing. I mean, I can remember exactly what I was doing 2.5 years ago. And my life is a totally different deal right now. Totally different deal in 2.5 years.
You enjoy getting that extra check every week?
I love it. I mean, we call it mailbox money. Me and Jen and Mitch, we literally race to the mailbox to see who's going to get the checks first.
You don't do direct deposit?
Dude, I like the check. It's just so I play dirty tricks though. Like on some of my friends that I still want to get in, I put my checks on the counter. One of my friends the other day came over and I had a good sized check. It was about, for me, it was like $4,500 for the week from Vima. And he walks in, and this is a guy that I prospected probably, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And he's looking at this check and he's like, dude, he's like, you made $4,500 this month from Vima? I said, no, I made $4,500 this week from Vima, dude. And he was like, damn, done. Builder pack, done. Right there. Like, he just needed to see the proof, right? Like, I went through it. I went through the struggles for 18 months. He saw success, and now he's kicking himself going, man, I wish he was literally he was my very best friend growing up, and he was the first guy I took Vima to. And it took me, this is the funny part, it took me exactly 1 year to a day to get him in.
Wow.
And now he's a lifer. The guy loves it. He loves the product, loves the business opportunity. You know, he's a super successful guy. He's a fireman out by us and stuff, and great influence on people. And so
Cool. Oh, that's a great story, man. It's like, that's how it is. It's like, so again, I'm trying to pretend because it's so hard to go back to when I was brand new, you know, but so what I want you guys to get your arms around is, okay, let me get this straight. The product is good. Like if you drink one, you're gonna drink it and you're gonna say, wow, it's good. Like, I mean, every once in a great while, you have someone who says, I don't like it. And then I usually say to them, you drank it wrong. But I mean, almost everyone's initial reaction is it tastes good. Is that what you experienced?
Absolutely.
And then so the products taste good and they're super good for you, right? And then the BizOp thing is it's real simple. We're building this brand. We currently got it at 220 million, which is a decent sized company. But I mean, out of 12 billion, you know, potential in just the energy drink market alone, the coffee market I think is something like 70 billion. And then we have a weight loss line, and that's another, I forget how many billion, but collectively it's $100 billion of market share just in the product lines that we currently have, and we're at 220 million. So we haven't even scratched the surface, but we definitely are established. Like it's not like, I wonder if this thing is going to work. Like everyone, I think Verve will be a household word in the next 5 or 10 years. The question is, how big of a piece of it are you going to get? As far as the money, like how it works, I want to give you guys some details. You join, it's free. I was listening to this Asian speaker. He says, you know, if this is a pyramid scheme, he goes, we are the worst pyramid people in the world because it's a free pyramid. You know? It's like, because like in a pyramid scheme, it's like Bernie Madoff style, you know, people invest and then he takes the investors' money and the new investors, he pays off the old investors and they're paying out more than taking and eventually it collapses. That's what a pyramid scheme is. In a network marketing model or affiliate marketing model like what we do, we just take half the money that we get and we pay it out to the people who make the sale. So like Red Bull spent 900 million on advertising and promotions and having people jump out of outer space and having people hand out free drinks at motocross events. $900 million was their ad budget. Last year, our ad budget was $100 million, but we paid it out to the people in this room and the rooms around the country. So it's like when you pay $3 for a can, yes, it costs 50 cents more, but it's 50 times better. Okay, just like, I mean, like I said last night, it's like you don't wear like the cheapest jeans, you don't wear the cheapest watch, you don't carry the cheapest handbag, and you don't drive the cheapest car. Why would you put the cheapest crap in your body? You know, and so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot better. But so a $3 can, we take $1.50 and we pay that out, and $1.50 goes to the company. So those are the finances of it. You join. If you sign up for a monthly shipment on the product, you get 10% off. That's what we encourage people to do, is to put product in their body every day, month after month. If you just get 3 customers, you get your product for free, which is kind of cool because like you refer people, whether it's to, I thought of something tonight that I referred. What are some things, because I'm just like having a mental lapse here. What are some things that you tell people about? Like just naturally, like you tell people about stuff and then they do it. What movies? Restaurants. Dance studios. Do you have anyone you'd like to recommend? Top Golf. Oh, we went there last night. That was cool. Like you do this already. You tell people about stuff. You know, whether it's a nail salon, whatever the case may be. There was something I told someone about though that I was pissed I didn't get paid on. You know, because like some people say they don't like network marketing but I don't like things that are not network marketing. Because if I tell people about stuff, it's like, well, you get paid. I think they're marketing for them. But anyway, we give you free product if you get 3 people. We give you $200 a month if you just get 10 total people in your organization. So an extra couple $100 a month. You know, talk about millions, it blows some people away. A lot of people would be stoked just with $200 extra a month. Tell 3 people, and they tell a couple people, you're making 200. Get 100 people total on these products. You're getting like $1,000 to $1,500 a month, and you're getting a $400 a month car payment. All right, so that's kind of like the first level you start to make money, and then from there it's just a matter of how big you want to take it. You know, the average person that's at the level that Brian's at is making 6 figures a year. The average person at that level that I'm at is making 7 figures a year, and that's without the decimal point. You know, so it's good. And if you want to do it, it's not difficult. We do training here every Saturday at noon. So you come here Saturday at noon, or you tune in live Saturday at noon, and we'll show you exactly how to do it. We go through a workbook that the company put together. It's real simple steps. Use the product, talk to people. We tell you what to say, what not to say, etc. So that is that. I want to have you hear from a couple other people. Anything you'd like to add in final thoughts on this topic, Brian?
I guess maybe for the new person getting in, this is my thought. You know, we got a lot of new people that come into our organization, and if you guys are like me, this is a new business model to you, and there's a certain amount of education that gets you comfortable with this, and This is the only way I can explain it. And this is a true story. I actually told Matt about this probably 3 or 4 months ago. Not this story, but that I was doing this. But I kind of have this bucket list of things I want to do in life, right? And one of them was to get my pilot's license. And so I'm like, okay, I want to do that. That'd be cool. So I go to my first lesson, go down to the local airport, and my instructor's like 20 years old. He literally does not look like he should have his driver's license, let alone teaching me how to fly a plane, right? And so we get in the plane. I've been in there 10 minutes, and he's like, okay, you know, you flips for your rudder, you steer here, you got throttle, you know, we're kind of going through all the controls. We get out to the runway, and we're like literally turning onto the runway, and he goes, all right, you know, he goes, you got this thing, man. Just you take off everything. Mind you, I've been in this plane 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. The only other planes I've been on are to Vegas, right? And I'm in the back, like usually with a cocktail or something. And so I'm looking at him like, you're nuts, dude. Maybe you don't value your life, but I mean, this is, no, you know? And he's like, you got this, you got this, you got this. He goes, just pull back on the throttle, wide open, get up to about 55, 60 miles an hour, start pulling back on the yoke, and you're good to go. And I'm going, yeah, that's all there is to it, right? And I'm thinking, and mind you, I'm in like a little Cessna, and it is so shady. Like it's shaking, and it's like rickety, and you're like, dude, I don't think this thing could get off the ground with a professional pilot, let alone, you know, a knucklehead like me. And so we get going down the runway, and sure enough, hit about 55, I start pulling back, and next thing I know, I'm flying. Okay. Nice. And so here's my point to that story, guys, is you don't need to know everything about this business to get in and get started. Okay. You got guys like Matt here or myself or any of the other leaders that are going to be there holding your hand all the way through the beginning. And then all of a sudden you're going to be so comfortable with it that you won't need our help, and you'll be the professional teaching the next guy. And so that's the advice I would take to you guys, that even if you're new to this, or if you just got in, or you're thinking about getting in, it doesn't need to be as scary as you think it is, because it was scary to me in the beginning because I didn't know about it, just because it was unfamiliar. But I mean, you guys won't die. I could have died. I mean, you know. So I guess that's my final thought to the new person.
That's a great analogy. I often tell people, you know, it's like getting a plane off the runway. You got to go pedal to the metal. You got to but very, very cool. Let's hear from a couple of other people that are doing good in the business, and then we'll wrap it up. And then get, you know, basically what I want you to do is get your questions answered if they weren't answered during this presentation, and then join us. You know, it's so simple to join. You just, your name, your address, where you want the product sent to, your email address, you create a username and password, and then you're in business. You start handing out samples and inviting people to come and check it out. It's not hard. If we do Wednesdays here in the evening, and we do Saturdays at noon, but 24/7, you can push play and have someone watch a video. Like the video of last night's presentations on Vima.com. It's like 30 minutes long. It's great. It's great presentation, if I do say so myself. And then, so let's see, who should I hear from? Okay, so like Trent is a new guy, right? He's just wanted to do this for like a short period of time, but he's doing fantastic. And so Trent, maybe you come up here and just share your background and how you're enjoying this so far. Give it up for Trent.
Hello, everyone. How are we all doing tonight? Good. So yeah, I came from I have like a ballroom dancing background. I was a teacher. I went to high school out here in Vegas. I now work in nightlife and events, some with Caesars Entertainment and some different things. And so actually my attorney, the guy that I've known for many years, he originally introduced me to it, and he actually called me and told me that there was like a business opportunity, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds cool. And it's like, yeah, they're making a lot of money, and you know, you should come check it out. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like on the way, I'm like wondering, what is it? I wonder what it is. Like, he, you know, he's a lawyer. It must be something really cool, you know, like it's got to be something good, you know. Then I'm like halfway here, I'm like, wait a minute, is it like network market? No, it can't be that, right? You know. And then I get here, and lo and behold, it was. And at first, a little bit, I was in the back of the room, you know, just kind of like, I don't like to drink a little bit. like I was a little bit like, what's going on here? Wrong, dude. Yeah, exactly. and then as I listened to Matt and some of the other people, it was like I started to open up. And then halfway through the meeting, I'm like, my brain is racing. Like, who am I gonna call? Like, and really, like, I got really excited. I couldn't sleep, and I actually borrowed money to start with the starter pack that they had for my dad, so I could like really get started with it the right way. And And so then from there, it's just been a matter of, just talking to my friends and just, I listened to a few CDs that they gave me. I listened to advice. I call the guys. I come to all the meetings. Even if I don't have somebody, I'm here so I can hear it and just learn more, and I think that's what I do. And, I ranked up to a bronze leader, and I got my product for free because I have 3 or more customers and all that. So it's been a good deal so far for me.
Very nice. And then, okay, so you mentioned his attorney. Whenever Lloyd's here, if you ever hear from someone that says they're too busy, well, they're not. I mean, because they're not busier than this guy. I mean, this guy's got probably more cases going on than anybody in town. If when he gets up here, you're gonna recognize him. Because seriously, how many people here watch TV? All right, everyone watch TV. I watch TV. You watch TV in the morning in Las Vegas, you're going to see this guy's mug. He's got the greatest commercials. They're hysterical. I guess we'll take it easy on Lloyd today and not play a commercial. But give it up for Lloyd Baker. Come on
down. That's the reason I got into business. Just like Trent. I mean, get good people, hang around good people, and help your friends make it. Because how can you ever duplicate what I do? You go to school for 6 or 7 years, you work your ass off, you mortgage everything you got to make a business work. And Brian knows, you take so much risk. This is a no risk deal, and you share it with your friends, your family, people you really care about and want to be around. That's the deal. It's just, and everything does take some effort. Nothing's for free, but man, it's just get in and do it. And as your attorney, I advise you to do it.
I love that one. Jury reached a verdict. It's not complicated. I was just thinking about so you look over their fridge. You see the Verve. How many people here have Verve in their fridge? Just for show of hands. All right, so you get an idea. It's like I've always thought it would be cool to own vending machines. You know what I mean? But then I got a couple of vending machines, and then like one thing that really pissed me off was when the vending machine was delivered, I scratched the hell out of the floor, and then I was renting that place, and I ended up getting charged for that floor, which was a bummer. And then the vending machines break. I don't know if you guys know that they don't work all the time. Now the other day I had a vending machine experience where I put the money in, and then the thing spun around. And then there were my Gordettos, man. They were almost out, and they got stuck. And they didn't. Have you ever had that happen? Like, oh God, I was hungry too. I didn't have any more change. But it's like, so they break, and then it's kind of gross. You got to take the change and the money out of it and stuff like that. But the concept of having a vending machine and then just going around and collecting your money is a cool concept. Right. What I use the analogy of Verve is like, having vending machines. Every one of you that raise your hand that has this in your fridge, every time you go in and one of your people goes in and opens up the fridge and cracks a Verve, it's 25 cents or whatever going into your pocket. But what's cool is it all is done virtually, and you just get it deposited every week. Or if you're like Brian, you get a check that you can leave out on your countertop so somebody don't see. And then it's a business you can do all around the world too. I mean, literally, we're in over 50 countries. Okay, and people from Vegas. I mean, how many of you are originally from somewhere else? Just by show of hands. Okay, almost everybody, for those of you watching online. So it's like, this is a great nucleus, if that's the right word, to branch out all over the world. The last person real quick I want you to hear from, a lot of you haven't met him because he's been in South Africa for the past few weeks building the business. He also was, before that, he was in Colombia. Nice. He was just like living the dream, traveling around the world. And maybe I thought that, this is another guy who has thousands of these virtual vending machines all around the world now. Maybe you could just come up and share real quick a little bit about your travels and how the business has been for you. This is Nate Curran, ladies.
What's up? I guess I'll sit down since it's there. Use the stage props, right?
Yeah, do it.
So yeah, my name's Nate, 33 years old now. No background in network marketing or sales or anything. Background's a banker like Matt. Matt was actually one that actually got me to get enrolled into the business. He wasn't my personal enroller, but I went to one of his meetings, and just like many of you probably got started, wasn't really sure it was for you. Saw something that interests you, and then saw somebody who basically, he related to me, and so I got started. The reason why I got started in the business was obviously the money, and money's great. But the real reason why I want to do this, I'm married, had one kid at a time, and I wanted time freedom. That was the bottom line. And I had a full-time job, overworked and underpaid, like I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand or know somebody who's in that similar situation. And I just made a clear commitment. And I said, hey, if this guy and other people can be successful in this industry,
Wait a minute.
then I can.
All right.
Yeah. There's a joke there, but I'll keep it there. And so you know, I got started about going on 5 years now, and you know, I've been lucky and blessed. Me and my family have to pretty much have the time freedom now. I had a full-time job, don't have a full-time job anymore, and I do this, and now I'm traveling around the world, which I never really thought I was going to be able to do in the very beginning. When I met Matt, Matt was making $80,000 a month, and he was traveling around the world, and I was like, dude, if I can just make half of that in a year, I'll be set.
Right.
And never even dreamed that I'd be traveling around, and then 5 years later, and I don't know if I'll be racking up his miles in the next 12 months that he does, but I'm definitely on his tails, and I love it. That's what it's all about.
How'd you like Cape Town?
Dude, absolutely amazing and life-changing.
It's like Malibu, California, but in Africa.
Dude, it's amazing. So in Cape Town, there's this big mountain called Tabletop, and I didn't know it till I got there, but it's actually one of the greats. It was one of the great wonders of the world. It's officially not the seventh, but it's there in the
It's
great
like the
wonders.
ninth or something.
Yeah, something like that. Top 10 for sure. Top 10.
Top 10 wonders.
And what's really cool is every morning I got to wake up, and outside the window next to my bed was Tabletop Mountain. And you know, I couldn't help. I was there for about 15 days, and you just can't help to really wake up every morning and realize like the blessings you have in your life.
Right.
And you know, and the biggest thing I took away was imagine if I didn't take this opportunity. Imagine if I decided not to do it. You know, and get stuck in my conversation, not having time or not having money or whatever it is, or basically just going in life like 97% of people in the world do, and really realizing that I could not. You know, I could have had an opportunity missed like this moment here. And so everybody here who's looking in for the first time, or maybe somebody who's gotten in the first 30 days, my suggestion to you is get started. Okay, just do it. You got to make a commitment. You got to make it happen. But to make that commitment and do it, be crystal clear on why you're doing this business. Because I believe some people have different opinions, but my firm belief is one of the main reasons why people fell in this business is not a commitment issue. Okay, it's not a time issue, it's a why issue. If you're not crystal clear on where you want to go and why you want to do it, guess what? You're not going to get there. So for all those people here tonight, get crystal clear on why you want to do this, make that commitment. Here's the thing. You want to be so clear on that why that it'll keep you up at night. That when you have those hiccups in like any business you'll have, that why will be crystal clear there to say, you know what, it doesn't really matter that this happened or that happened because I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this because my future children. And you guys, you have to realize this, like what other options do you guys have? Right. I actually have this crazy this crazy statistic that I heard in an event that was when I was over there. Gentleman talked about in the next 15 years, the economists expect that we need to create 600 million new jobs in the next 15 years, okay? But the reality of what they're projecting that we're actually going to create is 150 million. So my question to you is, where are the other 450 million people going to do to survive to take care of the family?
I would imagine.
There you go, guys. You got to make that decision. So there we go. We're all set.
Thanks, Dave. So yeah, join us. It's fun and simple. You know, it's like I would suggest this was a simple, not easy. You know, you got to get 2 other people drinking this product and repeat that 12 times. I mean, that's like my goal was to make 50 grand a month. I wanted to make my annual income my monthly income. And if you just get 2 people and you repeat that 12 times, you're there. It's a little bit harder than it sounds, though. Like, how many? Just out of curiosity, how many of you invited someone tonight who didn't show up? I know I did. 3rd week in a row, this one person that I invited didn't show up. It's like, I just don't understand that, you know. And this is someone who works at a job that they hate and makes no money. And it's like, I live in a mansion and have 8 cars, you know. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to share something with you. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, life got in the way. It's like, but you got to find 2 right people, right time. So maybe you have to talk to 20 or 40 or 80 or 100. I don't know, I'd talk to 2 million if I could avoid being broke like I used to be at my job. So with that, I invite you guys to come to training Saturday at noon. Come back and then again stay. We'll be here until your questions are all answered and you're all enrolled. So get with the person who invited you here and tell them whether you want to get started with the product, with the business, or whether you hated it. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's the case. So give me a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Brian Stamen, a round of applause, by the way.